it's Vanessa coming at you with another video. This one is going to be a little bit more of an informative, kind of an educational video. This is a video of my personal experience trying out laseraway. And yeah, let's jump right into it. Okay, so first thing I want to preface is that this video is not sponsored by laseraway. All opinions are my own, and I paid my own money for this particular service. So please make sure to like, share, subscribe, because it was not cheap. So I went ahead and did only underarms for these particular 3 sessions that I'm going to be talking about. I absolutely hate shaving my underarms. It is the worst thing on the planet for me. I hate the fact that when it grows back, it feels like it's itchy and like it's just no. I have been waxing my armpits at home, usually by myself. It's just easier for me. I like the fact that when I wax, the results lasted longer, so that's kind of my go-to hair removal process. But I will say that lately I just haven't been able to really get a good wax. It was just a very time-consuming process, and I am trying to be as low maintenance as possible. I'm also very prone to ingrown hairs, which is another reason why I absolutely hate shaving. I just started getting kind of like what I think people call either keratosis pilaris or follicular. I'm not really sure the terminologies. I'm not a dermatologist, but I'm a Googler. So I be Googling, and then I fall into a black hole of information, and then I self-diagnose myself. I am also a very good candidate for laser hair removal, just based off of what I've researched and what dermatologists recommend, and then also just my phone consultations with other laser hair places. I am fair-skinned and I have dark brown hair. Not super dark, but it's brown. So the melanin in my hair has a substantial contrast to my skin, which is good for laser hair removal because of the way the laser targets the melanin in the hair follicle. You have to make sure you're having phone consultations with all of these places because there are specific lasers for different skin types. People who have darker melanin in their skin need a special laser. So please make sure y'all reach out and do your research, because otherwise you could really do some damage on your skin. Now, I shopped around a pretty decent amount before I decided to go with laseraway, and I had a few phone consultations. I had one with laseraway, I had one with Ideal Image, which I think is like a competitor, and then I had one with a local dermatologist in the DC area that is pretty popular. At the time that I purchased my underarm package, laseraway was having a promotion. They usually have promotions pretty often, so I would definitely wait when they're having a promotion to actually do laser hair removal, because you can find a pretty good deal, and also I think there's some deals on Groupon as well. So I ended up paying only $358.20 for my entire 6 to 8 session package for underarms. Underarms, according to laseraway, are considered a small area. So for the most part, you can get a pretty decent package with a small area, because they usually do the promotions or a big chunk of percentage off on a small area. So like a little small area on your face, you know, like your underarms, maybe somewhere on your chest or something like that. So if you really break that down, that's about $45 per session. So in my personal opinion, I think that's pretty decent, considering laser hair removal overall is, you know, can be a bit of an investment. I'm gonna show you all the breakdown for Ideal Image. The reason why I didn't go with Ideal Image was because I didn't like that they have like a membership thing that you have to pay for additionally on top of your procedures. I just feel like I don't really need all that, and I understand the reasoning for it. The one thing with laser hair removal is that if your hormones change, the hair will grow back. Laser hair removal is not permanent hair removal, okay? And you can Google it. About, I think what's actually considered laser hair removal is at least 80% reduction of the hair in the treated area. I know they like to advertise that all over the place. It's really not. So there will be some hair growth. It just won't be as much or as fast as it usually is, if that makes sense. After my consultation with Ideal Image, they gave me this particular pricing. You're always gonna get them trying to upsell you, and even with laseraway, it was the same situation, that they tried to like add additional packages, because yes, it technically does end up being less expensive when you do package deals, But for me at the time, the package deals were a little bit more than what I was willing to pay for at the time, especially because I've never done laser hair removal. So I wasn't even sure if the results would be worth the investment. It was the most expensive package in this entire breakdown. So I just, it wasn't for me. It actually really wasn't much of a consultation, but it was just me calling and speaking with the person who I guess is in charge of like scheduling the consultations. And this is pretty average cost for, you know, laser hair removal when you do individual sessions. You know, for the underarm area, it didn't really make much sense. Let's talk about the laser type, because a lot of people need to make sure that they're asking these questions. And when I was doing my research about laser hair removal, I made sure to ask what type of laser they were using, because there is a difference between laser hair removal and then IPL treatments, which are kind of like light. And I'll put up on the screen like the differences between IPL and laser hair removal. You want to make sure that when you're calling all these places that you're actually asking them what type of laser machine they're using, because that's going to make a difference. Laseraway, and I'm going to put this up here on the screen, utilizes the Cynosure Peachy Elite machine for laser hair removal. It's a dual wavelength system that uses both the 755 Alexandrite and the 1064 ND YAG lasers. Now, if you Google the 755 Alexandrite hair removal laser, that's actually pretty popular in one of the top laser machines. It's like one of the top 5 or something like that. So I felt pretty confident going with Laseraway because of the type of laser that they were using. Also have this thing called the something zinger. I forget what it's actually the name, I'm like blanking, but it's like a cooling system that apparently numbs the skin during the treatment, so it makes it supposedly to them virtually painless. And so that's what the machine has. Now, not all laser hair removal machines will have that cooling, numbing air coming out of it. Overall experience and also the pain with this. Now, both my techs who I saw were registered nurses, and I do think that's also an important thing. The last nurse that I ended up seeing for my 3rd session, she previously worked in the ICU, and she told me that apparently it is actually very difficult for nurses to transition from, like, you know, the regular traditional health areas or departments to going to like cosmetic nursing. She said that cosmetic nursing is kind of like the top tier, but that it's extremely difficult to get into that career path. Now, when I first went in for my first session consultation, I had to go into a room and had like a FaceTime session with a registered doctor. And they asked me a couple questions about like the areas that we were getting treated, and also like she saw like my hair type, asked me if I was taking any medications, things like that that could affect the results. They're the person that will clear you for the treatments and let you know whether or not you're actually a good candidate for this. And then I went into the room, and the room was very clean. Everything was very clean. There was no residue of anyone else being there. They provide everything you need for aftercare, specifically like aloe vera creams, deodorants, lotions, like sensitive skin stuff, anything like that for post-treatment, like at that moment, they have there sitting there. And I used aloe vera after all of my sessions and treatments, only because I have very sensitive skin and my skin gets inflamed and red even after waxing, anything. So let's talk about the pain. If you wax, whether it's underarms, your legs, bikini area, whatever, if you wax, getting laser hair removal is actually not that bad. And people will sit here and slice it. It's really not that bad. Like, you clearly have not waxed, okay? Waxing can be painful because you're literally ripping the hair out of the follicle, okay? They say that it compares to like a rubber band hitting your skin. I would say that's pretty accurate, but in my opinion, I feel like it's more like a pinch. It feels like someone is like pinching you in those areas. And I think the reason that it felt like that for me was because there's this cold air that's blowing, and it actually helps kind of soothe the area. So in my opinion, I didn't think this was that painful. And I feel like this stuff is way less painful than just normal waxing. And I prefer laser hair removal than waxing. This is only after 3 sessions, so keep that in mind. It's not gonna be super drastic. My hair is growing back, but it's growing back very slowly. And another thing too is that I'm not coming into this procedure thinking that it's going to permanently erase all of the hair on my body. It's not, okay, y'all? Unfortunately, I wish it was, but it's not. And there's only about an 80% reduction of hair, which is like the standard that's accepted in this procedure in dermatology. So just keep that in mind. That definitely reduces the amount of hair that you have and also the growth of the hair. I didn't have that much to begin with. Any little bit I will take, okay? So for me, I actually ended up seeing the best results after my second session. After my first session, I was like, oh, okay, I don't really notice much of a difference. And then after my second session, I came into the room and she was like, hey, like, how is it? She was all super excited and I was just like, honestly, I didn't really notice much of a difference. And then once I said that, she changed the settings on my machine to, I guess, a little bit stronger of a zap so that I could actually see results. And after the second session, I definitely saw better results. Next time that I go get my laser hair removal treatment, I am going to ask the nurse the settings that I have on the machine. So, you know, just in case y'all can understand where that's coming from, if that's useful information, I'll have an updated video for y'all. Again, in my underarms, I did not have that much hair. Like, I'm not very hairy in my underarms, but I have hair there that annoys me and I don't feel like dealing with it, okay? I just don't. I want to be as low maintenance as possible, okay, y'all? I just want to get up, lift my arm, and not have to deal with it. You know what I mean? Like, that's the kind of life that I want to live. Overall, I'm actually really, really happy with the results in my underarms that I ended up upgrading to the platinum package to get my underarms, my Brazilian, and also my lower legs done, just because, yeah, I'm over it. It is an investment, okay, y'all? I'm not gonna sit here and pretend. This is my personal experience with laseraway. Overall, I've been very, very happy with my results, specifically in my underarms, and I will give y'all an update in the future for the platinum package to see what's up with that. If y'all have any other questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section down below. I'm hoping that I answered most questions and most information that I was like looking for and I felt like people were leaving out. So obviously, we are all different. So again, this is my personal experience and everyone's gonna have a different experience. So keep that in mind.
How do you know what's good for me? That's my opinion!
But overall, I hope y'all liked the video. And if y'all did, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next one.